so plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Alrighty. So many hours wasted. Chocolate wasted. And I don't get to eat it. So, let's do comment reply video, mostly about Jasmine. There's a few other stragglers here. We'll quickly get rid of them. So we'll start at the earliest. Salt Lake Police asking Utahns to report LDS Church anti-Semitism. That was the Salt Lake City Police putting out the call to the local news, saying, you know, let's have the people call in anti-Semitism and any other form of hate. So that's why the one woman from, I don't know which city here, was caught on camera, and she posted it on social media, being racist to her fellow neighbors. And so this is what MAGA doesn't, they overthrew the First Amendment this way. The freedom of speech, by bullying, threatening, terrorizing, lying, deceiving about other people. And when you do that, you are taking away the free speech of the other person that is the target of your hate speech. And so you therefore, logically, do not have the right to hate in your speech, to threaten in your speech, to lie in your speech. You have to tell the truth. And we don't get taught this in our school systems in the United States. And so Star Trek, as I'm going through it, I have until 8 April, and that's the next and final day for the day that shall burn as an oven, after conference weekend. And the writer of the show for the Vulcans misleads the audience into thinking that logic is void of emotion. And as you witness the Klingon, or not the Klingons, the Vulcans, they're very emotional, just not human emotional. And so it was fun to watch the original Star Trek with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, as Captain Kirk was able to win debates against Spock's logic by showing that emotion is logical. And sort of in Enterprise, as I'm starting from the beginning and watching them in chronological order, but they really are doing a very bad job of it. They don't know what logic is. And having gone into that field, having published, been degreed on this, and every time I use logical theory development with the Socratic method for my research and study to, like, decipher Paleo-Hebrew, it in and of itself is devoid of bias, and emotion as a conclusion is a bias. But when I make the discovery, when I confirm with 3 separate tests to establish a fact, I do a happy dance. A feeling of joy overwhelms me. And it's awesome. It's like I just won a marathon or something. And this is what people don't get when doing sci-fi. And so then you got people who want to be like Vulcans, and they... No. Wrong. And so, yeah, feelings are an emotional response to your interpretation of events that occur. And so it's important to have your interpretations correct so that your feelings are legitimate, that they're not misleading, they're not deceiving you. So Mormons read, ponder, pray, and wait for the right feeling of confirmation. That's not how it's done. Those feelings are deceptive. So it's very sad to go over the news and see how America has fallen. That we just, as a nation, aren't even logical. No longer the news is unbiased. They're all biased. They're all fallacious in their thinking processes, not just the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And the damage they've done to Mormons. And so, 1 Nephi, chapter 1, verse 2. It's sad that I have to keep repeating this in every single video, that Mormons are incapable of remembering what they read at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. Do they not read their Book of Mormon? Maybe. There was a branch president who confessed that he never read the Book of Mormon. He's not an intellectual like I am. And as a result of his not reading the Book of Mormon and not reading the administration handbook, the general handbook for instructors or for leaders that Nelson had released back in the day, he ended up instituting a whole bunch of changes for the branch that were in complete violation of the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants on how to run wards and branches. And it was the older singles ward, and the stake president didn't bother to step in and correct him on these. You know, he was forcing the bread to be white bread, when the Doctrine and Covenants says it doesn't matter what you eat. And so I knew that before my mission. I knew that Doctrine and Covenants passage before I went on my mission. But yet, I get out and I get transferred to the New Canaan ward. And I'm sitting in the back with my companion. And one of the other missionaries, or the mission president, I think it was the other missionaries, comes up to me, because I'm the new guy in the area, and says, don't make an issue about their investigator who's attending church, who has a special tray with lettuce on it just for her. And I'm like, why would I be concerned about that? It's no big deal. And when I was miraculously freed from my disappearance by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for 6 years, I was in the ward downtown, and because of the lack of worthy priesthood, I was able to bless the sacrament and even pass the sacrament. And we had a special gluten-free Chex type thing to use for several in the audience who were gluten intolerant. I mean, these are non-issues, and yet Mormons are unaware of their scriptures and end up creating a whole new thing that is completely contrary to the doctrine that is written in stone. And so, yes, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the Book of Mormon that you can identify the forged documents of Brigham Young with. You know, section 115, the name of the church, dear God. You know, the Joseph Smith papers for the Joseph Smith history of 1838. That's a forged document. Joseph Smith didn't write that. Section 116 on Adamondiaman, forged document. Joseph Smith papers shows it's brand new, fresh ink after faded ink. And so it was clearly put at a much later date than the original that was written. Section 119, tithing. Dear God, priestcraft, seriously, Brigham? You know, the Book of Mormon, we all know, no priestcraft. Priestcraft will be the destruction of mankind. And there's Brigham Young practicing priestcraft for the sole purpose of destroying the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and taking down the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith with it in the latter days. Not a single Mormon gets it because they don't study their Book of Mormon. And then section 132. Dear God, 6 times in the Book of Mormon condemning polygamy. And Joseph Smith's 1835 edition of the Doctrine and Covenants had a whole section, section 101, on monogamy. No polygamy. Condemns polygamy. And then you have Joseph Smith excommunicating John C. Bennett for polygamy. And yet, all these people are accusing Joseph, who went with Brigham, or who were excommunicated by Brigham for polygamy. And people can't see that section 132 is a forged document. That it all of a sudden magically appears, there's no original document of it, the year before Brigham Young dies, and in the printed version of his Doctrine and Covenants. And as Jasmine identified, the seer of Orson Pratt has that same type of language, and it's because it was 1853 when he started the seer, and was 2 years after Brigham Young officially declared polygamy openly for all at the pulpit of the conference here in Utah, which the tabernacle wasn't built yet, but whatever house they were holding it in at the time. And so these are things that, as a Mormon, you are required to know. If you've been a born in the covenant Mormon your whole life, and you don't know these basic things to identify the forgeries and the lies of the prophets and the contradictions and the missing footnotes, you've wasted your life. Seriously. You are a part of a gang. You are not a part of a religion trying to improve your life and better yourself. You are literally a weapon of a gang that is a hate group. And you are anti-Semite, anti-Semite. Dear God. And it's technically Hamido. That would be easier, but then I would have to explain it for you. And so, yeah, Average Joe Painting responds to that video. LDS are not anti-Semitic. Wow, he owned me. He really put me in my place. Wow, I better quit doing videos now. I apologize. An angel posing as Lucifer came to me and told me to say these things in YouTube videos. And Average Joe Painting, he caught me. He got me. I confess. It's all a lie. Jesus is the Christ. Joseph was a Christian. The Book of Mormon is another testament of Jesus Christ. Oh, wow, you got me, Joe. And he then goes, what are you talking about? God. Just an unintelligent Mormon. Didn't bother to study any day of his life. He has wasted his life. I'm sure his painting is excellent quality, but you have to work at that. Just like you have to work at studying Mormonism. You can't just coast through Mormonism and think you're the expert. Joe had to paint over and over and over. Michael Jordan sucked at basketball as a kid. He had to practice day and night and day and night to become the god of basketball. We all know this. And yet, when it comes to the church, Mormons do not follow logic. Eternal Voyager with a little Buddha. Translated by the gift and power of false LDS prophets. I just put that one up. Suggestions as to how it was done. Uh-oh. Tell us more. Lucy Boy, LMAO. I won't tell that joke. There has been much laughter these past few vids. LOL, living in the land of moron. He watched that one. Good for you. Has been more of a trial than any of us could have foreseen. Not the curtains. That. LOL. No. Studying Mormonism, a secret code name, which is, by interpretation, the code name. Got 2 videos. My Forza Horizon for Garage and a decent game with the IS. So this person's into cars. Joined February 5th, 2016. The Weird World of Tanks username. I would become Mormon if Mormons believed Jesus was God. They do. Where have you been? And so, yeah, he even had to edit that one. Again, you got to put things in chronological order of history. The Gospels were written before Christianity was created. Therefore, the Gospels are not Christian documents. But the Christians claim them as Christian documents, don't they? That's what's called an anachronism. It's also called anti-Semitism, because the Jews wrote them. Stanford, Brigham Young causes Mormons to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. This is one of those greatest hits. I need somebody to come over and go through my past videos and pull out the greatest hits for me. Any takers? I've got an extra computer to work on. But yeah, I also need somebody to go through my PBS News hours to make sure they're in chronological order and that I don't have any missing. Anybody? James and Jasmine, you want to come out here to Utah, spend a month doing that for me? Really help me out. Of course, you'll have to stay somewhere else because then I'll have to be charged more money for rent. I don't think I have a place for any of you to sleep. We lay out a sleeping bag, and then there's the recliner that folds back, and I've slept on that many a night. Stanford is digging into history between 1887 and 1923. Yeah, I've done the videos on that. I can't remember the wording that I used for the title of my videos. It's the missing years or the dark ages of Mormonism. That's one of them. Yeah, that's the dark ages of Mormonism, where the United States shut the church down, and then Heber J. Grant reincorporated the church, started it back up again, and Mormons were clueless. He did it as a thief in the night, because the prophets from Wilford Woodruff to Heber J. Grant were deceiving the Mormons as if the United States didn't shut them down. They were in denial that it happened. And so, yeah, the priesthood ceased on the face of the earth. And so how did they get it back? Heber J. Grant doesn't have vision accounts to justify forming the church. I don't recall him claiming there was a document by Joseph Smith prophesying of Heber J. Grant to restore the church. Nope, he just did it. Claimed authority. And so, yeah, the prophets from Heber J. Grant to Nelson, they have no authority. Not even from Brigham Young. They have no authority. The United States shut it down. Ceased to exist on the face of the earth. And so, yeah, this is technically, it's not a religion. It is a corporation, as he incorporated it as. It is a financial corporation to solely make money off of Mormons. It says it right in the Articles of Incorporation. We no longer are members. We do not have a say, a vote for the leadership anymore. And Brigham didn't do that either. Only during the coup. He obeyed only that one time to become the president, as he kicked out the disloyalists. Focusing on Heber J. Grant, rise as apostle and president, his actions. Alrighty. And Jasmine's, no, wait a minute. Comments that may be offensive have been hidden. Show hidden comments. Show hidden comments? They may contain language that's considered offensive. Show. Mark! Translated by the gift and power of false LDS prophets. Well, it's a good thing you're around, because Robin used to be the one that was always flagged all the time by YouTube, and now she's gone. She ghosted me. Little bird flew away. So sad. I missed Robin. I miss her still. And so, capital EFF, I'm not sure what text code that is. I don't use my cell phone. It's a pain in the butt. Had to use it this morning. Somebody had left their trunk open all night, and so I had to call security to let them know about it and get the people, owners of the vehicle, notified in case something was stolen overnight. But other than that, I don't like the phone. I don't like it for talking. I don't like it for texting. I don't like it for anything. It has an 1.5-hour battery life. And plus of the GPS tracking device that our government is using on us in secret, just as China is using it in public. And so, yeah, they're gonna escalate that. Just you watch. And the Mormon moron cult church. There's nothing wrong about that, YouTube. The Mormon YouTube employee saw it and flagged it. All right, Jasmine. Well, we got a late-breaking one from Mark. Translated by the Gift and Power. Wasn't flagged. Travis, you should have used... When you get to do it as infrequent as I have, which was only 3 times, there's no pulling out. Alrighty. Let's check the Gmail too to see if she emailed me. Oh, right, the missionaries. They're on the Gmail. I need to go over that one. Thank you for reminding me. So yes, the missionaries knocked on James and Jasmine's door, and they were looking for a religion. Wow, we got 4 more additional stuff here. Wow. Yep, she's finally flooded my email. She's back after the deer hit her. Damaged their car. And they went dark for a couple of days. Alrighty, so... Wow, yeah, they're replying to a couple of our comments. Let's do the one on the missionaries. And yeah, there they are. There they are. Let's review the names again. Are they allowed to use their first names? I was not allowed to use my first name. And it was awkward. I'm brand new out into the mission field. And Elder Gale takes me to Montauk Point, where there's a group of guys who play basketball. And so I go out there, and I'm not in my suit, obviously, which was already weird and awkward. And then when they ask me my name, I'm hesitant. I don't know what to say. And so eventually Travis. But yeah, it is an awkward thing on a mission. And so Elder Rumsey and Elder Downs. And I'm told that they said that they're from Utah. So if you're in Utah and you're watching this, and you know that those last names, because those aren't typical Mormon names. Rumsey, and not Ramsey, Rumsey, and Downs. And you know that they're on a mission. That's them. They were the ones that told James and Jasmine about fence sitting and couldn't answer correctly about polygamy and had to get the mission president involved, and then Jasmine humiliated him. Yep. And there's some of their other friends. They're so popular. Everybody loves them. All right, let's see what I can read and what I have to put in the sealed portion. Hey, Travis. The missionaries have added James to their social media. Here are both of them as number 1 on his profile friends list. They are in that position because to look at his page the most, and we're the last 2 to view it. James tries to keep religion off his page, but after doing a little digging, there are at least 48 Mormons on his friends list. Oh, you're getting crushed. The whole ward is ganging up on you guys. Oh no. Run! You're gonna have to move. I thought Mormons weren't supposed to be on social media. Missionaries, yes. Mormons, no, they can be on social media. There's a whole bunch of Mormons on social media, and they shouldn't be. They do not know Mormonism. They're just spreading the lies. But yeah, elders, in my day, we were not allowed to buy a newspaper and read it. We were not allowed to go to certain plays off Broadway or on Broadway, either one. We were given a list of what we could watch and what we couldn't watch. And so I saw Phantom twice and Fiddler. Never got to see Les Mis because of the companions that I had. And so I ended up seeing Phantom twice, which was just awesome. It was awesome. And Fiddler, which was awesome, with Tevye. But and then there was a music list. If you wanted to listen to music, you had to listen to an approved list. And so it was pretty strict for us. We could only call home twice a year, which I think was Christmas and Mother's Day. And so because my family hated me, they didn't get a call from me ever. And I would eventually stop writing them because it cost money, as I was living off of Little Debbie brownies from the money that I found on the street walking the pavement. But recently, when I was a ward missionary in the West Valley branch, or ward, the missionaries indicated that it had changed to allow them to access YouTube as an elder, as a missionary, having a missionary account, to help with investigator lessons, to show a church video from that source. And I, however, have caught them commenting on my videos. That's what they're not allowed to look for. And so Elder Augustine was able to get special permission from the mission president to look at the titles of the articles. Which, yeah, he bought the paper and he read it anyway. But, dear God, he asked permission. Dear God. And so, yeah, we weren't allowed to know what was going on in the world at the time. We're supposed to focus on the mission. And so when something like Hamas attacking Israel, the missionaries, when confronted by Jews, Christians, or Islamists, can say, I don't know anything about that. We're missionaries. We don't watch the news. So there's plausible deniability so that a missionary doesn't say something stupid and get themselves in trouble, which they do anyway. And so that's how it's supposed to be. They're only allowed to use social media to promote the church for the lessons for investigators. And they can use it to reach out and contact their mom on a daily basis if they're a little snowflake who can't separate himself from his mother. That's why the Bible says, a man shall cleave unto his wife and abandon his family. Kick him to the curb. You got your own family now. It's an exact translation from the biblical Hebrew. He has said that he and I are learning the truth about things on YouTube, but we haven't mentioned you. It must be the new guys then. Because you said you mentioned me to the previous guys, and the mission president said he knew me. We didn't know if you would be okay with that. You can mention me. But I would prefer that rather than using me as your source, doing what you've done. Saying, I heard from Travis Goodsell that he was talking about Section 101 of the Doctrine and Covenants of 1835, that it's on monogamy. And so I checked the Joseph Smith papers, and that will impress them. And then you'll say, yeah, it actually is. And you can show them the Joseph Smith papers on your tablet or phone or whatever you use. And then they'll go, uh-oh, the church isn't true. And so that way you demonstrate to them that you heard it from me, but you yourself have confirmed and verified that that is the way it is. So that they can't just throw out the excuse, well, you can't trust people on YouTube. And they did that, as you mentioned in a previous comment. And so, yeah, and especially if the mission president knows me, throw me out all over the place. Travis said this. Well, Travis said this. About that, Travis, he had something to say on that. Do it. It'll drive him nuts. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, by the way. Awesome. Alrighty. Study materials. Hello, Travis. Here's a link to our Dropbox where we have our PDFs. Get out of my way. Is there anything else you think we should have? Oh, okay. This is your collection in cloud of what you're wanting. Let's see what it is. 1833 Book of Commandments. 21 Reasons That No Global Flood. Get rid of that one. There was a global flood. I did the video on that. Book of Commandments. PDF. Is that a repeat? Or is that something else? It's BOC. What are you doing? Go away. 1830 Book of Mormon. Book of Mormon removed footnotes. Interesting. Am I able to get this? I am. Yeah, sign up. Screw you. Close. Decline. Close. Oh, you are letting me. Okay. I think I already have it as a, get on my way. Book of Saints. Is that the Christian version? Because I think I've got that in printed form. Because St. Patrick. Book of Mormon PDF. Clear Word Rats. Commentary on Book of Revelation. No, that's a worthless book. They don't know their Book of Revelation. You've got some of my stuff from academia. Look at you. Complete Book of Signs and Complete Paleo-Hebrew Synoptic Index. That has been updated. So you'll want to get... But I haven't pulled it down because it's so popular on academia. Alright, so there we have, let's see, the 3 facsimiles. That one should be updated. It should, because of Jasmine. I had to update it. That's the complete Book of Signs. Full Paleo-Hebrew Decipherment. That's the one you want. Even though the index is a condensed version, that's the one you want if you're wanting to learn Paleo-Hebrew. So the construction of Paleo-Hebrew vocabulary, yeah, that was done before I finished it. What I had finished in 2017 is I needed to rush to get working on the signs in the heavens for the latter days, was the finishing of the script. And so that's what you have, is the script. And so it doesn't have Jeremiah 10 that you pointed out to me about signs, because that I would come to learn later on, step by step, line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. And still in the top 3 for Complete Paleo-Hebrew Lesson Manual. No, that's... No. Interesting. Torah. Yeah, it's the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, the complete scientific research. That's of the script. And it's the top 3 with 8,000 plus views, 509 readers. And then the Synoptic Index, yeah, it's the one you would want if you want the quick, simple answer. But again, the Aleph and the Tau, the first and last letter, you got to take it under the information that needs to be updated about being the sign in the heavens for the last days. And then identifying Moses has 3,756, but it's not rated anymore. It's not a percentage anymore. That's been dropped off. Okay. And my Book of Signs, obviously, that was 2017. There's lots more to be put in there. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of books that I need to upgrade too. Not a huge project. You got Cowdery's book, good. Contradictions between the Book of Mormon and I don't know if it's late war. It doesn't look like it. Late War with Book of Mormon. All right. Stuff you missed in Sunday school? I don't think that's it. Word tree. There it is. Wordtree.org, the Book of Mormon and the Late War. A comparison of the Book of Mormon and the Late War between the United States and Great Britain. First published January 11th, 2014. Last edited 9th March 2014. And he still does not have a key for the color coding. Because you'll see the first one, he has 4th of July, location 26-1, and so in the late war quotation, the 4th day of is red, the 7th month blue, which is green, the birthday of Columbian liberty and independence. And so in the Book of Mormon, they have the location, Alma 10:6, the quotation, the 4th day of this 7th month, which is in the 10th year of the reign of the judges. That's enough of a match to call it plagiarism. But if that was the only thing in the Book of Mormon, yeah, no big deal. Move on. Coincidence. But there's a long scroll down that he goes into here. And so this is something that you need to do a copy and paste of so that you have it in your collection, or have the link in a document so that you can get to it. Wordtree.org/the late war / Would have been nice if he offered a PDF version of this. Discourse, 7th of April, 1844. I probably should have put this in an email thing for you also. The late war with the Book of Mormon. And so then I'll go back to my academia and link it to the one book as well. Academia, strangers in the night, exchanging glances, lovers at first sight. What are the chances? La da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Hey! They're becoming too commercial. You're a professional site. Don't do the commercials. Alrighty. Does Ezekiel 37 predict the Book of Mormon? No, they sort of fudged it. The actual fulfillment of Ezekiel 37 is the latter days. I did it. It's also in academia. Translating Joseph Smith Jr.'s Book of Joseph. That's close, but there it is. Bible Torah translated into ancient Egyptian Genesis, creation, the flood story. And yeah, I can keep on going into Abraham and such to show how Joseph Smith was right. but I've done that separately as a book, and it's published on Amazon. But I don't recommend it because Amazon is too expensive. So I need to update it and then put it on Academia, as what's on Academia needs to be updated anyway. So many projects to do. La, da, 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 da. See, Mormons don't care that I've fulfilled scriptural prophecy. They're waiting for Jesus, and he's never going to show. They're building him his palace, and he's never going to show. And it's going to be a statue, and the prophets are going to say, yes, Jesus spoke to me the other day while we were having breakfast. And Mormons are going to go, I'm so wicked. Oh, if only I could be righteous so that I could see Jesus too. Faith crisis. False prophecies. Well, Institute for Religious Research. And the first vision, no, it's all garbage. They treat it as if it's literal history. It's not. Learning of the Jews. And so when he says gold plates, he means the Knights Templar. That's what he's referring to. And the whole legend behind the Knights Templar of coming to America, buying the land, putting the gold plates in the caves in southern Illinois. Yeah, Illinois. Flaws in the Pearl of Great Price. There are none. It's incomplete. I've completed it. Easy breezy cover girl, because I deciphered Paleo Hebrew. And yeah, I did my happy dance every time I made a discovery or completed a project. Full text of happiness, Joseph Smith alleged, And the happiness letter, yeah, no. Nope. You know, those aren't legitimate sources for research purposes. That's what you need to understand why I'm rejecting these. When you're doing a research project, you need to have legitimate sources. You don't do somebody's book on the subject. You don't do somebody's feelings and testimonials. You don't use no. You don't use people's accusations. Holy Bible, Joseph Smith translation. I don't think I have that in a PDF. Interesting. Excuse me. Thank you, Jasmine. Journal of Discourses. The whole collection? Doesn't seem like it. That's ready to go real quick here. There's a couple dozen volumes. Interesting. And there's the death signs. That's how you do research. Wilford Woodruff, in the official declaration number 1, verse 11, says, God will never allow us to deceive Mormons, lead them astray. And so how does God signify to Mormons about the falseness of his prophets? He uses signs in the heavens. Sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven for each and every single one of them. And so it appears that Nelson's death day is coming up real quick here, because the end of the latter days, Lucifer shall be bound for a millennium. With all the crimes they've committed, yeah, it probably will be multiple lifetime sentences. Lectures on faith, yeah, but you already have that with the 1835 Doctrine and Covenants, right? You have that one? You don't. I don't see that. You have the Book of Commandments, but not the 1835 Doctrine and Covenants. Okay. I'll need to link you to that one. Because that's where it was put in. 1835 Doctrine and Covenants. Joseph Smith Papers. And if I could find one, that would be on archives.org. But this is perfect too. We'll do view entire script and link you to that. Just X out if you want to see the actual book, but it's the typed version. Alrighty. So it's not the original documents. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Okay. I noticed a pop-up on that one. LeGrand Richards interview. Curious to know what you learned from that one. There was a brand new audio recorder in Wilford Woodruff's day, and they experimented with it because it was brand new on the market with him and his dying testimony, and he botched it the first time, so they had to redo it, and it's still a bombshell with the edited version. There are some things he exposed that the church does not want revealed. List of prophecies by Joseph Smith. I see a top quarter of a page. Throw that away. The whole Book of Mormon is prophecy. All of Joseph Smith, he had a whole ton of prophecies. But you got to use the learning of the Jews to see them. Lowry Nelson, First Presidency Exchange. Lowry Nelson. Curious to know what this one is. Missionary Handbook. You know, I linked you to that one. Montez Uner. The something Mormon. I can't read it, it's too small. The LDS Plan of Salvation, Mormon Handbook. Nancy Rigdon. Yeah, that newspaper print, that's not her. She didn't write that. She's framed by the Danites. Yep. A Nauvoo expositor. Yep. Joseph wasn't at the meeting, and it was a result of John C. Bennett, who was upset that Joseph Smith excommunicated him. The New World Translation, is that Jehovah's? Or is that the one you were talking about that you use? New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. JW? It is JW. Interesting. All they do is replace Lord with Jehovah. And they're fun to tease because they say that Jehovah God must be pronounced Jehovah. Jehovah. So when I was up in Canada going to the University of Lethbridge, Jehovah's Witnesses came knocking on my door, and they said, "Oh, hey, have you guys heard about the Dead Sea Scrolls, original documents?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, there's somebody in our congregation who knows all about that. We'll let him know, and he'll come over and visit." And never did. I was setting him up. It was a trap. Did you acquire a Pearl of Great Price commentary that I'm having difficulty finding? My dad threw away some valuable Pearl of Great Price commentaries that I had that cannot be obtained anywhere else, but now that I know what I know, they are worthless. Sin, Skin, and Seed. Polygamy Institute for Religious Research. Sex Crimes. 1984. Skousen. Ooh. Yeah, we're linking you, since you have Skousen here, I'm going to link you to the Council for National Policy. This is a secret combination put out by the Southern Poverty Law Center. They are a hate group, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is directly affiliated with it through the Skousens. His firstborn birthright blessing son, Mark, is now the one representing the church now. Council for National Policy, Membership Directory, 2014. And so, yes, the Southern Poverty Law Center has indirectly condemned the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as being a hate group. And so when you hear the news, you know, Steve Bannon and his tampering with the 2016 election and being pardoned by Trump for it, and then Leonard Leo hooking up the Supreme Court justices with the billionaire, yeah, that's this council that's involved. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints getting their Disrespect for Marriage Act passed with their exemption clause that was added into it to get the Republicans on board to vote for it. That's the church. They have overthrown the government with this thing. Bible versus the Book of Mormon. Epic of Gilgamesh. Oh, you want to go there? I have 1 billion documents for you then. The Egyptian Ogdog story is a better version of the Epic of Gilgamesh, by the way. Not because I'm biased towards the Egyptians. Not at all. We'll hook you up with a link to, I believe it's called Sacred Texts. Yeah, Sacred Texts. And it looks like all of their alphabetically home topics off on the left side. You can just scroll down and you can find the various ones. You have Bible, Ancient Near East, Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Egyptian occult, if you're into that, evil, Freemasonry, Gnosticism. They put Gnosticism in here twice. Hinduism, Islam, Jainism, Judaism, Mormonism, mysticism. That's right. Paul had you resent that link, didn't you, Paul? So yeah, that referred to the side thing for what you want to learn and study. And UFOs, dear God, That's a distraction. It's a distraction. It's an unidentified flying object. It doesn't mean space alien from the planet Mars. It's because it's unidentified. That's all it is. Then you got the happiness letter. You got too many happiness letters. The word yay in the Bible and in the Book of Mormon. Seriously? Get Strong's Concordance of the Bible. That'll give you all the yays in the Book of Mormon. And so, yeah, there you go. The few to get you started. And send. Alright, I see we have got a couple more there, and then there's the ones on YouTube that we didn't even get to. 1, 2, 3, 4 that are still on YouTube. And we're at an hour. And we're at 3:20. And so, probably by the time I finish this, it'll be near time for church news for the Friday evening news for the weekend. What bombshell will they be dropping today? We can check right now before I exit. See if anything early was put in. I noticed Garna Mejia. She's a regular now on KSL. Yeah, the Tabernacle Choir celebrates the Savior's birth, his rape of his mother, in 2023 Christmas concert. Elder Godoy invites BYU Idaho graduates to apply 3 Behold Therefore principles. BYU study, American Family Survey 2023 findings on mental health. Yeah, where is it? Buried in the pile here. It's all mental health. Replace it with any of these words. Impairment, disabled, diseased, illness, retarded, mental health challenged, psychotic, psychopathic, mental, emotional, behavioral challenged, unstable, malfunctioned, chemically imbalanced, extremist, radical, deranged, stressed, moron, depressed, special, LGBTQIAPO+. That's why they did the conversion therapy, because you were mentally ill. And it was just a torture thing. It did not cure anybody. Religious extremist, criminal, crazy, and schizophrenic. That's what they mean by mental health. That's just the latest word that they're trying to make sound faith promoting. Psychology is an evil fraud. Blindness doesn't stop this teen from spiritually seeing. She's not able to read, ponder, and pray. Unless she uses the Braille text of the scriptures. Church. Oh, that's the Help Babies. Come follow me. You snuck that in. Oh. It's the Book of Mormon next year, guys. Come follow me. 2024 curriculum simplifies from 4 manuals to 1. And so, yeah, they're screwing you over on learning. They're purposely dumbing you down. That's what this means. 4 to 1. They're dumbing you down. But it does say Book of Mormon at the top. So how is that 4 manuals to 1? Is it just going to be the Book of Mormon year after year? No more other scriptures. It's just the Book of Mormon. Study the Book of Mormon for the 2nd time since the launch of Come Follow Me. The blind leading the blind. Next year's manual will be different. That 4 into 1. Yeah, they're still using the 4 different sets of scriptures for the quad, but everybody will be learning from the same manual. Sunday school, primary, youth, and home. So yeah, I would imagine seminary is youth classes. It is not sufficient to have the scriptures. We must use them. Really? Oh. Are you gonna explain the learning of the Jews finally? That's right, we need to start doing Book of Mormon video series again. Resurrect them. Yep. Because the church won't talk about it. Do they even have... 4 in 1, but they've got 4 separate books with different titles and pictures on them. Oh dear God, you just wasted your whole time on that. They're lazy. That's all it is. And children's songbook. And so, do they have a link? Come follow me curriculum. They should have it available to download too, because time is running out. 15 more days until... Oh look, there's Jesus. It's so true. It's literal. And nobody's around. He's all by himself. Made it a web thing. Come on. Come on. I want this for the... I don't want the whole screen. I want this. This is my thumbnail. Because it's leading Mormons to believe that was the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who were right the whole time. No! So frustrating when they do that. And then eventually a whole billion of them will pop up. Not wanting to cooperate. Now I gotta cut and paste. Damn you! Damn you all to hell! I gotta say God damn you all to hell, actually. Book of Mormon 2024. Dun, 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 dun. Download entire PDF. There we go. Awesome. Possum blossoms. And I will go through and do correcting. Come follow me. Book of Mormon 2024. We'll do that series for you. We won't get past April unless the church fails. Gonna need to make another version of this for other files. We can use this as the cover story or cover page too. That's a good idea, Travis. My save files is getting too long now. I retired. Mormons don't listen. They don't care. Alrighty, we're done. We went well over time now, didn't we? Not too bad, an hour and 15 minutes.